You know, when you imagine something so perfectly, but in reality, it turns out completely different. Hi everyone, welcome back. So, today we're making this garment. So, let's begin with the skirt. I had this beautiful white lace fabric lying around. I bought this fabric from a local market a while back, but never managed to use it properly. This time, I thought, why not? Let's finally give it a purpose and turn it into a tiered skirt paired with a fitted flare top. So I cut the fabric into long strips and started stitching. On one side of the strips, I secured them with zigzag stitch, and on the other side, I gathered them and attached them to the base of the skirt. For gathering, I always save two parallel stitches about 1/4 inch apart so that the fabric gathers smoothly. And after gathering a mountain of fabric strips, it was finally time to attach them to the base fabric. Unfortunately, I forgot to record the stitching of the base fabric because I have been dealing with allergic reaction recently and they flare up unexpectedly and sometimes cover my whole body. On such days, I usually skip filming altogether. Luckily, I managed to record on the second day, so you will see a part of the process. Now let's clear something. It's not tears, it's ruffles. After each ruffle, I measure about 3.5 inches, lightly marked a line with my pencil, pinned the strips carefully along that line, making sure not to catch the fabric underneath, and then stitched it down. After finishing the whole skirt, even after adding the chain, I made sure to attach a hook and eye on the top for security. I used a silver set. And finally, the skirt was done. It looks soft, puffy and flowy, and honestly pretty good on the bodice. With the skirt finished, the next mission was to make the top. Here's where things got messy. I ran out of pattern paper and couldn't find brown paper in my local area, so I ordered some online. But in the meantime, I picked up pink chart paper. Why pink? Well, why not? Turns out I quickly realized why not. Chart paper is soft, flimsy, and tears way too easily. But since I had bought a whole bunch, I couldn't waste it. So pink it is. This time, I didn't drape a new pattern. I used an existing basic bodice pattern in my size. Adjusted the neckline and other areas as needed. Carefully added seam allowances and cut it out precisely. It took me almost a whole day to finish. And my favorite part, I punched hole in the pattern for hanging. Then came the towel fitting. Super important step. Since I didn't have any silk-like fabric on hand, I used poplin instead. Not ideal, but when you have only one option, you make do. After ironing, folding, placing the patterns, and cutting everything out, I had my pieces ready to stitch. And of course, golden rule, always iron the seams after every stitch. Once all the panels were stitched, I tried on the fit. At this point, I was still hopeful, but nope, it turned out to be a disaster. I only realized it after wasting 1.5 days. It was frustrating and almost funny at the same time. With only 1 day left to finish, I scrapped the top and decided to make the simplest design possible. Something I could complete in 2 to 3 hours without any pattern. This time, I tore a silk fabric straight away, draped it on the dress form, and honestly, I liked it better. Not perfect, but definitely better than the previous attempt. I also cut out 4 smaller strips for the straps so that I could tie a bow at the back. After ironing for what felt like forever, I folded and cut the fabric diagonally as needed. No pattern, just speed. First, stitch the straps, cut all the unfinished edges. I turned them inside out using my hand, and with the help of a pin, I popped the edges neatly and ironed them flat. Now that we have both of our straps ready, it's time to add them to the bodice. I placed the rhombus shaped bodice on my floor because my table is occupied right now, and added those iron straps both sides of the smaller side. After adding both It's time to pin it secure. Pinning is done and it's time to stitch. After stitching the bodice, I added a buttonhole and a button at the corners for closure. And just like that, the top was ready. It only took me about 2.5 hours, and it turned out simple yet beautiful. The back neckline looked clean, and the wide waist straps tied into a secure bow. Finally, I paired the top with the skirt. Honestly, they weren't meant to be a set, but together they didn't look bad at all. Usually, I avoid making both the top and the bottom equally heavy, but this time it actually worked. It wasn't exactly what I imagined, but it turned out pretty enough. The only thing is, the back feels like a bit too much for me. So I don't think I'll be wearing this to a puja outing, but maybe I will save it for another occasion, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.